Swastiastu from Bali, Indonesia. Aloha and namaste. I'm Dr. Jinju Dasala, also known as the Goddess Brain Doctor, here to assist you in activating your Goddess Brain, awakening your feminine wisdom, and not just living, but embodying your divine purpose. I'm also the founding mother of Nyasa Institute, where we weave science, soul, and soma for the purpose of healing, transformation, and empowerment, manifestation, so much more. Essentially, the divine feminine teaches that everything births in a spiral. And again, from the initial birth into the earthly realm, we are constantly being rebirthed. This is how we grow. This is how we expand. And as a serpent is constantly shedding the old skin, we too are constantly shedding the old to expand into the new. And as we know, this process is often very, very intense. Prayer. Okay. I know prayer can often have sort of a connotation, a negative connotation for many people who are kind of anti-religion. However, or maybe it's just uncomfortable, or maybe it's awkward because you grew up in a family that just didn't practice prayer, and that's okay too. Anytime you have a conversation with the universe, that's prayer. Anytime you have a conversation with yourself, that's actually prayer, because you are the universe. You are a reflection of the universe. The universe is a reflection of you. And we underestimate in general the power of prayer. And just recently, my whole family we just had a huge revelation, and basically an up-leveling of our prayer practice. And it was as we were going through some really intense things, actually, in our most recent visit to the U.S. We had gone back for the first time in 4 years, the first time since pre-pandemic, and some of you who follow us know, I think I posted about some of the intensities of that trip. I won't get into detail about that here, but it was hard. It was really hard, and we actually found ourselves in a place where we needed support, and that's actually gem number 4, to get support. And we were very blessed, and often, always, there's that support is there, actually, just waiting to hug you, to wrap you with that loving guidance. And so one of the practices that came out of this most recent rebirth cycle, this most recent dark night of our souls, and I have to thank our son's godparents, Mama and Papa Lani, out there in Colorado, beautiful souls who held us through this time. And one day they invited us into a prayer circle. Now, prayer has been a part of my life since I was a little girl in various ways, and even as a family, we prayers have been a part of many of our rituals. However, this was a little bit different. This was a prayer circle that we engaged in with our soul family. Here's what was really fascinating about it. We can have these loved ones in our lives that, even our own parents. I have never done this with my mom and dad, and I've known them since my birth, right? We've just never sat and held hands and actually prayed in a circle. And so we did this, and it just opened up something new. It was like it expanded our channel of connection with the divine. It amplified everything that was in our hearts and in our minds, and it really just it shifted the energies of everything that we were going through. And they, our soul family, basically challenged us, encouraged us, say, hey, do this every day, and we'll do this with you, whenever you want to. So we had a couple with them. And then as a family, we decided to just commit to a new practice. What we committed to was mandatory, non-negotiable morning prayer circle as a family. First thing when we wake up. So we've been doing this since beginning of January, mid-January, something like that. So the beginning of 2023, it's been about 3 months, and we have stuck with it. And we prayed before, like prayer's always been a part of our lives. However, it was like we would get up and I would always try to rally us to sit in front of the altar, light the candles, burn the sage, and get the cards ready and the bell and so that we could drop into meditation in our prayer. But the problem was or the reality actually, this wasn't really the problem, but the reality, and let me know in the comments below if anyone can relate to this, is the reality is we wake up, and just waking up is like a thing, right? Just waking up is like a whole process, especially with the 7-year-old, now 8-year-old, trying to get them ready for school and get them out of bed. And then by the time all of that happens, our kid is hungry, getting breakfast together, and then I just want to get on my yoga mat. By the time I want to get on my yoga mat, I'm like, I don't, they can, the energy is scattered, basically. The energy gets scattered, and we don't sit together, unless it's like that occasional, weekend, or that occasional holy day or something like that, or the new moon. So what we decided is, you know what? Let's forget about the candles. Let's forget about the sage. First thing when we wake up, in bed, before we get out of bed, we have our prayer circle. And this has created shifts. It's made a difference on so many levels, right? So many levels. First, it brought in a sense of like anchoring, right, inside of the dizzying rebirth canal. We were in prayer more consistently, more frequently. We are in prayer more consistently, more frequently. But then some of the byproducts of that is that we are setting our day, right? It's rebirth every day. I mean, every time that sun comes up, we are invited, into the privilege of being able to live in this earthly realm for another day. And we set the tone of the day in a connected way, right? And so we're more connected, more deeply connected as a family as well. So I probably already said more than I planned to in this video, but if you want to hear more about that, let me know in the comments below. I can make a whole video just on this practice of the prayer circle, and how you can utilize it to support you through almost anything.